laugh. What makes me laugh about last night was just how confident, overconfident the media was, and how overconfident the pollsters were, and how overconfident the Democrats were. And I really am apolitical. I'm neutral. I think that they're both bad, and I think they're both working against us. Trump, though, coming from the outside, is fun to watch. And, it was just funny. But here's the thing I learned about it before we get into the photos I'm going to show you here for a minute. What was funny about yesterday, and that encouraged me greatly, was that it seems like the biggest voice in the land was kind of the mainstream media. And I think that a lot of us, kind of fell into the rut, at least I did, to feel like the people that are shouting the loudest and the nastiest and the most, kind of brutal, if you will, really don't speak for everybody. And in fact, they don't speak for many, honestly. And sometimes I slip into that where I start to think that the people that are my critics and the people that are trying to shut us down and everything like that, that's the predominant voice in the land. And as Trump showed us last night, no, it's not. There's a whole other group of people that that have been encouraging me and helping me, and in the background telling me to keep going, even though people are calling me all kinds of names. Now, yeah, words, sticks and stones may, break my bones. Whatever, words will never hurt me. That's bull. Words hurt. The question is, or the comment that I'm going to make is, if you don't know me personally, I'm not going to take it personally anymore, because you don't know me. And even people that have worked with me in the past for brief periods of time, they don't know me. My heart is in this channel and about this whole ministry that's evolving. The whole deal for me, guys, is I just want to do what the Lord wants me to do, and I'm going to do the best I can. And He knows that I'm imperfect, and He knows that I make a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be honest about everything and just keep blundering forward. Anyway, here we go. Here's today's photographs. It was a series of photographs sent to me by somebody who was watching this calendar weather webcam in Australia, and check it out. So it looks like a bug, right? I mean, I'm down, I get it, it looks like a bug, but it's reminiscent of the plasma reactions that like Jeff P would catch. So it was interesting. So not only did he send me one from 7/12, by the way, that's how you read that down there, that's July 12th, 2016 on the bottom. They just write their dates a little different than in America. But he gets several manifestations of strange activity around this same area on different dates. This one is from August 9th. So he just kept patiently doing a study, kept looking for those times when it was going to be out. Here's one from 7/12. And then here's one from 7/13. Again, not in the same position. Now, you could say that is a bug, okay? I got it. But it's just too coincidental that it's in these photographs in different spots around the lens, and that it has this kind of color or this kind of features to it or whatever. So it's interesting to me. I report, you decide on it. I'm not telling you what to think, but I think that it's a manifestation of this solar system that's invaded us. I'm going to talk about this here in just a second, but this is no lens flare, No, it's not. Okay. This object right here, this planetary-looking object, we see this in the Italy Skycam a lot, and I don't know what to say about it, quite frankly. It looks consistent with a object in space above the Earth. That's about all I can say about it. Definitely not any kind of a lens flare even. It's a direct look at it. I think it's the green planet, quite frankly, the one that we keep seeing all the time in our lens flares and our reflections. But wow, what an amazing image, huh? Wow. Oof. This next grouping comes from Kelly Hanabus, a very good researcher, one who shares with many, and thank you for sharing this. So I was out taking sunset pics while this thing appeared out of nowhere. By the way, this is in New Mexico. I couldn't catch it on video because of the distance, and this is full zoom, but you can still make it out somewhat. It just dropped down into the cloud chemtrails eventually. Here are the pics. God bless. So basically, the reason I'm showing you this is because this is one of the comet-type objects that we think is either circling one of the planets or maybe the star itself.
Dave Dobbs, researcher from England, thinks that it's the outermost planet of Nibiru. But he warned that we were going to see it more often, and it was on a 188-day cycle before, but now this is a 1-month cycle, so it's getting closer and closer. It's just another thing that we keep an eye on, and we've been seeing a lot, not just one picture of it, she got several pictures of it, as you can see here. So again, if you see, a lot of times they'll have a lot of airplanes flying around that look almost the same, but you can tell the difference when it gets to the horizon because it just turns red. I mean, just red. And I have also seen this before as well. And thank you for sharing that, Kelly. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Here's the time where I'm just going to take a couple interesting sub photos that I thought were really compelling. And the first one I would look at is Roy. Hi, Roy. How you doing, brother? Roy sends us this Pilot Point Southeast footage from the FAA CAM network showing something, ominous, several objects. But the first thing I want to point out is he captures the same green planet in the approximate same location as we've seen in Italy. Now, the question is, why can't you see it during the day when it's like this? Why can't we just see it in the sky? Because they have a lens and chemtrail system that's combined to make it invisible to you from the ground. And so these cameras that have the ability to stay on target and tell us what's really there versus our eyes that don't, we get effects like this, okay? And again, this is just more evidence of what's going on. Interesting stuff. But the next thing I wanted to show you guys are just a couple other photographs that I think are compelling, and only because of the green object. Again, this green planet, this green object, which we believe they're trying to hide with this combination of Fresnel lensing, artificial light, and chemtrailing. Okay? And as you can see, I don't think that's how big it really is. I think there's some magnification that's happening through the atmosphere, but I do think that this planet's relatively close. So when I see John Kerry jumping off to the Antarctica, and now I'm hearing rumors that others are going too, it just makes me think that maybe we're a little closer to event stage here than a lot of people believe. I think it's sooner, not later, but I can't tell you. I'm reporting, you decide. I mean, that's WS's motto, has been all along. I'm telling you what I believe and what I think, and it's up to you to figure it out for yourself, man, and do your own research. Here's another one. Again, only ominous in the sense that it's showing some type of an object, again, next to the sun, consistent with the Italy photographs, and interesting all the way around. This one was taken from a drone that this young man has actually, was playing with. And just by getting a few feet above the ground, 1,000 feet up or however high he was, you can start to see that actual Fresnel device that's actually spinning in front of the sun, causing the light to spread out in all different directions to where that you can't see it. And people see this thing spinning in there. I mean, guys, it's pretty intense. And then here, finally, again, untouched photograph with that object there. So now we're starting to see, and everybody, keep your eyes open, take pictures, tell me if you're seeing the same thing here, see if it, is occluding. Today we had a very high halo, which is also indicative of them burning the heck out of that candle up there and trying to block, I think, this. So we're going to do some photographs from Wisconsin today on that too, so kind of go from there. All right, now I'm going to warn you that I'm going to shift gears now to a spiritual discussion for people that are interested in Christianity or people that are into Christianity. And also, I'd say Buddhists will like today's message. So hang on here, and we will get that out to you too. And this has been on my heart a lot lately, and I wanted to share it with y'all, because I think that when we split across and we start to talk about Yeshua, Jesus, and we start talking about the things that he said and everything like that, I think that people put a lot of words in his mouth, and this to me is one of his most conclusive statements as the creator that he could ever make. And what he was saying is, here are the people that, here are the people I like. He loves everybody, but here are the people that he likes. Blessed, the ones I want to hang out with, right? And also the one that Steve Olson wants to hang out with. So the first thing I want to point out is, blessed are the poor in spirit. I don't want to talk about the rewards right now. I just want to talk about what does it look like to be blessed. Okay, so first one is poor in spirit. You think, oh, does that mean I'm poor? No. What it means is that you understand that you're not sufficient in yourself. It means you know that your spirit is incomplete without the Lord and without others. And that understanding of knowing that you're poor in spirit gives, actually will bring you a kingdom into your heart where you're not going to be poor in spirit at all. Blessed are those who mourn. Not mourning in the sense of like the loss of a loved one or something like that. That is part of mourning, but that's not the mourning I think that Jesus is talking about more. I think he's talking about the mourning that people have when they look upon the earth and they look upon these things, and it just grieves your spirit, if you will, or if it makes you sad to see how violence and hatred and lying and false testimony and all these different things just grieve us. So that's something you can know, that if you're mourning, if you mourn from time to time like I do, you're going to be comforted. Okay. The next one is the meek. Meek. All right. Not like meek, like beat me up meek, like do anything you want to me meek. Some people say strength under control. I think that's fine. But the Greek word actually has the idea of a gentle wind, or a graceful personality, or a person that is graceful. So blessed will be the meek, the ones who do not need to show their power at every moment, that do not need to dominate others. Okay? They're going to inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. I think that's self-explanatory. But when you talk about righteousness, are we talking about the righteousness that comes from doing right thing? To a certain point. But I think there's a greater righteousness that the universe looks for, and that righteousness can only come through the Lord, quite frankly. Then it says, blessed are the merciful. Right? Merciful. You give people a break. You don't hold things against people. You forgive people. You understand that people are making mistakes just like you. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they're going to be called the children of God. What is a peacemaker? A peacemaker is a person that values peace, that leads to love above all things, and then helps other people come to a place of peace. That's one of the reasons WSO constantly is calling out to other channels to say, don't persecute each other, don't judge each other. We're all making mistakes. Let's stick together and hang together. And I'll continue to do that no matter how much they smear us, because I want to be called a child of God. And then finally, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. A lot of people, look, man, I'm salty and I'm weird and strange and, all that good stuff. And I'll swear, I'll do an F-bomb. I had somebody the other day say, you're no religious person, you're no ordained minister. And I said, F you! You're no religious. I'm like, no, I'm just mad at you and F you! So I can be very, very salty and very, very weird. But man, are we getting persecuted right now. And so if you feel a little bit persecuted, if you feel a little bit picked on, I think you're in good company, okay? Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you falsely, and say all kinds of evil against you because of me, because I really do believe anything that has to do with the truth is him, and because he represents the truth and says the truth will set us free. Rejoice and be glad. That's a tough one for me, but thank you especially. Wanted to thank a young lady who's been trying to encourage me with a couple of 3 notes that just, one is just a picture of her staring at me like, don't you give up. Really encouraged me. So anyway, rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. Because the same way they persecuted the prophets that were before you, and any scientists, and anybody, you think about our community, man, it's just, it is a persecuted community. There's no question about it. So with that, with a little bit of beatitudes, and just understand that, if you're feeling poor in spirit, if you're mourning, if you're meek, if you're hungry for righteousness, if you're merciful, if you're a peacemaker and you feel persecuted,